Tubulars! Thank you so much for watching today, and I have a really special treat. I met the gal who is going to be speaking in just a moment in May. We are both in the same company together, and she spoke at this convention that we had for the company and just blew me away. She had such an amazing story, and I'm not intimidated by a lot of people. If I met if I met Dolly Parton, that would be different. But let's say if I met Casey Musgraves, who also I'm a big fan of. If I met her on the street, I'd just be like, hey, Casey, sing for me. I wouldn't get all weird and stalky. But after this girl spoke, I had so much admiration for her that I tracked her and another speaker down by accident in the line to the restroom for the women, because there's always a line. So I snuck into the men's restroom with the help of another leader in our business, and didn't want to wash my hands there because boys, gross. And then he made the point to me later, the men never wash their hands, so it probably is the cleanest place in the whole bathroom. Yeah, okay. Well, that's even grosser. I just went there. Anyways. So I'm coming back to the women's restroom to wash my hands, and I see her and her friend in line for the restroom, and I'm like, oh my God. First I had to say, I'm not cutting. I just need to wash my hands. So they know that I'm coming to speak to them with dirty hands, gross. And I was so just enthralled. I mean, they're both gorgeous. They're gorgeous, beautiful women, but so humble and so sweet and so smart about business that you would have thought that I was meeting the Queen of Sheba. I don't know where Sheba is, but I'm assuming that she's a great queen, because that's what I felt like. And these girls were so gracious. They were just they didn't point out the fact that I was stammering and I couldn't even get a logical word out of my mouth because I was just so, I can't believe that I'm talking to you. And they were fantastic. And after I got back to my respective home and they got back to their respective home, I reached out to both of them and I was like, hey, I cannot believe that I was so uncool. I apologize. I don't think that I tried to shake your hands, and that's probably my one saving grace, because I didn't try to shake your hands before I washed them after I went pee. But everything else was horribly embarrassing. But they were so nice when I reached out. They were just like, oh, that was one of the highlights of my trip. I had a great time meeting you, and we've been friends ever since. And I just, messaged them on, okay, but I am going to see you in October, and I don't promise that I'm going to be any more cool, calm, or collected than I was then.
You're so funny. You cracked me up. I absolutely loved meeting you. I thought you were just absolutely amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is so fun. We need to be best friends right away. So no, I thought you were amazing. And so I just appreciated that you felt what I was trying to convey to the group, to understand that, you have to expose and show people your heart, that's really what it is that we do. And so I was so excited to get to see and feel yours. So thank you so much for reaching out and for even coming up to us. I think that was just the nicest thing ever. I love it.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people who speak in public and they speak one game, but they play another off stage. And that was the one thing that just touched my heart about both of you, is that I could tell that you were exactly who you presented yourself as. And that was a wonderful person. It was a person of grace and graciousness and love and success and intelligence. And you had the most inspiring story. So in the Dianna Inquisition, we usually have 5 questions. I am going to forego my first question and shut up for a while, which is not something that anybody is ever able to make me do, so that you can tell our audience of tubulars your wonderful story about how you got back into network marketing. And let me just say, she's a big deal in network marketing. I have heard her name spoken out of some very respectful mouths, and they're like, Laura, she's great. She's wonderful. She's so good at this. And you know, we love her so much. So, okay, I'm shutting up. Go ahead.
That was so sweet. So I love network marketing. I think it's so much fun. I think that it's a great intro into becoming an entrepreneur without all the crazy overhead, right? Like it's the best thing that was ever invented. So I'm actually a third generation network marketer. My grandparents, my aunts, uncles, and my parents were all very big in network marketing. And so I grew up in this. And I remember being like 10 years old and going to my grandparents' meetings because, okay, well, I wanted to eat the food at whatever restaurant that they were at. And so, you know, I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to go for the food because I know they were going to get to order like food and I was going to get a steak or something. And so I remember sitting there and this one time really stuck out to me because I remember watching my grandpa draw the compensation plan, teaching people how they were going to make money. But then I watched them do their testimonials and watching people cry and feel so good about themselves and just cheer other people on. I just remember thinking, wow. And how they were so enthralled and like completely focused in what my grandma and my grandpa had to say. And, you know, they really, really loved on people and cared about people. And this was before, you know, Facebook, social media, YouTube, all these different things where they had to literally sign people up with filling out forms and, you know, faxing them in. And I just remember thinking, wow, my grandparents are really cool. Like they really know how to help people. And my grandfather also owned a car lot and a construction company. And out of everything that he did, he loved network marketing. He thought that it was a great way for the everyday person to be able to get ahead in life. And so I always loved that. But then the other part of that is I saw that it was a people company. And as you know, people can be difficult. And there's sometimes people that are only in things for themselves or they can be a handful. They can act like fake friends, you know, until they get what they want. You know, there's so many different things that we deal with because we're human, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking, okay, as I get older, I'm not going to do this because I do not want to have fake friends or I don't want to do anything like, you know, and have people. I saw some people who just wanted to be close to my grandparents because they made a lot of money, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with that. So I'm just going to be a different entrepreneur. I'm going to own my own business. And so I started out in a tile company. I owned my own flooring company called Teak Tile. And it was a lot of fun until I realized that an 18-year-old girl shouldn't be crawling around on her knees in front of a bunch of union workers. Like that wasn't a good idea. And then I was a music minister for about 9 years and my grandma passed away. Now my grandma was the best network marketer you've ever seen in your life. They were the very top of 3 companies in income. They had broke all kinds of records, but the number one thing that she was always proud of is we help people get to be able to be at their kids' baseball games. We got to help people be able to take their family on vacation and they had never been on vacation in their life. You know, she loved that. She was one of those people that would hug you and shake your hand and she would leave $20 in your hand so you could go get gas or I remember watching her bless so many people. And when she passed away, I thought I was going to die. Like she was my best friend. And there were so many things we didn't get to do yet because she was only 62. And she had autoimmune disease and it just took her from me. And so I remember thinking every year on her anniversary of her death, I don't want it to be sad. I want to do something that we never got to do anymore. And so I guess the only thing I could do, that was the only thing I could get me from not feeling like I was, you know, all by myself. I think if you have that one person that loves you more than anything, that you're okay. And she was my one person.
Yeah. My grandma was my one person too.
Yeah. And I was like, Nina, I don't have you anymore. I don't know what to do, you know? And so first year, I remember she always talked about, we need to get a job at Macy's so you can get that discount. I bet they give a really good discount, you know, because she loved Macy's and we always watched the Macy's Day Parade, you know? So I did that and I thought that was fun for a little bit. And then I joined in a singing competition, and then we won that, and that was fun. And, you know, one year I was like, she always wanted to open up a bakery and a restaurant because we love feeding people. Like, it's my favorite thing to do is I love cooking for people and entertaining. It's just how you can, it's like one of the only things you can give to people when you don't really have anything to give.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Well,
feed.
and you're giving them the nourishment that literally keeps them alive.
Yeah, it's just something that's more, you know, more intimate, more loving on people. And so I was like, I'm going to open a bakery. And my mom, she called, she's like, you're going to do what? I said, I'm going to open a bakery. She's like, uh-huh. She goes, you know what? I believe you're going to. She's like, okay. And how are we going to do this? I was like, I don't know yet, but I'm going to open one. I just started baking a ton of stuff, and I opened a bakery, and within 6 months I got voted #1 bakery in the state of Indiana. And I was on a show called Cupcake Wars, and we did really good. It was so much fun. And then I got a business partner, and she's like, oh, I believe in you. I want to do this with you, and we can do this and this and this. And I was like, okay. And we were partners and friends for about 3-4 months. And I found out she was stealing from me the entire time.
Oh my
And I just
God.
remember thinking, but I set you up. Like, why would you do that to me? You know? And I'm like, not only did you steal from me, you stole from my kids, you know? And I knew something was going on with my health. I didn't know exactly what yet. I just knew that I was working myself to death. And I thought that was the American dream, is to own your own business. And, you know, they don't tell you that you have to be up early in the morning, and sometimes you don't even go to sleep. You have all-nighters and you do all these things and you don't make any money for a while. And I was dying and I was killing myself. And so after that happened, I remember I had to close the bakery because she had stolen so much that unless I put my house up, you know, then I couldn't keep it open. And I was just, I can't do that. And so I
Wow.
went to the doctor, and they're like, Laura, you're sick. And it's like, I don't know what you mean. They're like, it's really bad. And so we just need you to learn how to take care of yourself. And I was like, okay. So what is, like, what are you telling me? You know, like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you have lupus, and it's very progressive, and you have rheumatoid arthritis, and we need to get you started on treatment right away. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And they're like, well, there's 3 different types, and yours is internal. So basically, your body is rejecting itself now. So instead of it healing it, it's destroying it. So my kidneys and my liver and my heart were messing up. And I was like, I know, but I feel like I can't breathe a lot of times. And, you know, I'm like, I'm really tired. And sometimes my arm doesn't work. Like, I'll reach for something and my hand wasn't working. And I'm like, I just don't understand. You know, I was like, I don't want to be sick. Like, I don't want to do that. And I just remember thinking, how can this be? Like, it's supposed to be good things. And, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, and, you know, I don't know what to do. And at the time I was married, and so I became a stay-at-home mom. And I thought that this was what I was supposed to be doing, because everybody had been telling me, you know, well, you need to work on your dreams later. You know, you just need to be at home with your kids. I'm like, but my kids loved the bakery. They love these things. And every time I turned around, because I was doing something outside the box that not everybody was doing, I was bad. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do then. You know, I need to be there every minute. So I would take my kids to school. I would sit on the couch and stuff and wait for them to get home and go pick them back up, go sit in the school pickup lines. And I did it every day, made dinner, put them to bed, got up, went, did the same exact thing. And I love goals, and I love meeting with people and talking to people and helping them no matter what. If I was making a cake for their special day or whatever, I was just interacting with people. And now I wasn't, and I was dying. And I remember one day I was picking up my girls from school, and one of their friends came with them, and I was like, okay, so I was going to take them to McDonald's and go to the park and stuff. And I was like, okay, we can stop by here. And I was driving, and if you could close your eyes and imagine driving on a main street through town, seeing a car wash on your right, you know, McDonald's and Steak and Shake and everything on your left, and coming to a stoplight and hearing something in the back that this little girl said, "Hey, Haley, what are you going to be when you grow up? Are you going to be a baker like your mom?" And now I reached and turned down the radio just a little bit because, I was like, oh, this is my moment. She's going to be like, yes, I want to be just like my mom. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to do this and this and this, And so I heard the song. It was, that "This Is My Fight" song, And I heard my daughter, without missing a beat, say, "Oh, no, I'm never going to own my own business because all people want to do is steal from you. I'm just going to get a job." And I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, I'm doing the right thing. Like, I'm here. Like, but see, she saw me fall down and she didn't see me get back up. And see, the difference in that part was that they were used to entrepreneur mom, because whenever I gave up and I closed it, I stole their dreams along with mine.
Yeah.
And that girl who stole all that money from me and stole everything, she affected my ripple. Like, she affected what my kids thought that they could do and what they thought of other people and how they were going to interact with them. And that was no longer okay. And I just remember I was like in this blank stare all the way back home. We didn't even go to the park after that. I was like just devastated. I felt like I had just been punched in the gut. And I'm like, is that what they think about me? Is that, I failed, I didn't, maybe I didn't fight enough. Maybe I didn't, I gave up, and I dropped them off and I was like, God, I said I needed to go to the store. And I was like, God, I just need something. Like, I am so lost and I hurt, like my heart hurts. And I'm like, I know that I can do things. I'm like, I just need you to give me something. I got to give my kids their dream back, even if it's not for me. I got to give my kids their dream back. I was like, I just need something. I need some help, some signs, some whatever. And I'm telling you, it was like maybe 5 minutes, if that my phone rang. And it was my brother, and he was just like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, hi. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, "Hey, so I heard about something. And, I think he's like, you don't want to see what you think." He's just like, "I heard about this new opportunity," thing like that. He's like, "We maybe could do it." I was like, "Sure, I'm in." He goes, "You don't even know what it is yet." I said, "It doesn't matter. I'm in." And he goes, "You're in." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay. Well, I don't even know if I'm in yet." And I said, "It's okay. What are we doing?" And he's network marketing. I heard about a network marketing company. It's like, cool, that's fine. I was like, "We can do that." I'm like, wait a minute, thinking, uh-oh, I know this, all growing up, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, God, if this is where you want me, if this is what you have for me in store, then okay. And so we joined that company. And I know that because the person I was married to, I knew he was going to be like, "Oh, that's a pyramid scheme," And so I was like, I have to make this. I have to give my kids their dream back and show them that I'm not washed up. I'm not done. Just because one person did me bad doesn't mean everybody's going to do me bad. And no matter how many bad people there are out there are some good ones. So yeah. I would still rather it be me than anybody else. And so I within 4 weeks and 3 days, I had hit 6 figures. I was starting to make 6 figures. And it doesn't mean I was making 6 figures a month. It means that I was on track, that I was making $10,000 a month within 1 month. And it was because I literally sat down every night and just worked for 3 hours straight. When everybody else went to bed, I would sit there and just talk to people, and now if you ask my kids who have been on stage speaking all over the country, they have their own company called Go Kids Pro. They, have done so many things. If you ask them what they want to be when they grow up, they're going to say an entrepreneur. Wow. And it was simply because, I decided one more time.
And I'm glad you did. God, I've never cried so much in an interview. We better make this one good, because I don't think I can do this again. That's amazing. So what is their business?
They teach kids how to become powerhouse entrepreneurs. Their thing is, you know what, Mom? There's 3,473 kids that attempt suicide in the United States every day. And out of those 3,473 kids, 30, almost, I think it was like 36% of them come from entrepreneurial homes. And the number one reason of kids that are attempting suicide these days is because of social media, and they don't feel like they have a place in this world. Like they don't feel like they get enough likes. They don't have enough attention. Their parents are off doing all these great things, and they're not. They don't feel like they can measure up to what example is in front of them. And it doesn't matter what business that their parents in. They can be mom and pop shops, all these different things, but they don't have a voice to where they feel like they can match up. And so they feel like the only option is to not be here anymore. And it really affected the girls whenever their cousin had attempted suicide. And I remember, okay, sorry, I'm going to cry on this one. I remember my daughter came and she's like, Mom, she goes, these are our friends. These are my family. She goes, I don't understand. She's like, we got to fix it. What can we do? She goes, I don't want to hear this ever again. I don't want to hear anybody who's doing this ever again. And I said, I know. I said, what do we need to fix it. She goes, we got to make those numbers come down. And so I was like, okay, let's figure this out. And so we started a mission on, we did reports. I was homeschooling them at the time, and we just dove into every kind of information that we could get. We wanted to know where they were, why they were doing this, what age demographics, you know, if it was, you know, influences, if it was all these different things. And the number one thing that we were hearing is bullying, and kids not, you know, getting made fun of on social media, and them not getting enough likes, so they feel like they're worthless. And so they'd put a picture up and then they would delete it and call themselves ugly. And, you know, all these things. And I'm like, they're like, what can we do to fix it? And I said, guys, age is just a number. You can be great now. You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
So their slogan is, age is just a number. You can be great now, but confident kids don't bully. They lift others up. And so they wanted to create a platform to where they put kids through a 6-week course and teach them things from the basics on up. Why do we say please and thank you? You know, like, is it for them? Is it for you? And what does it do for somebody when you say that? When you call somebody by their name, it's the number one thing that people love to hear is the sound of their own name. And whenever you teach a kid how to properly address people when they're ordering their food, instead of having their parents order it, have the kids look at the waiter or waitress and be like, hi, what's your name? Thank you. And call them by their name. Say, I would like this, this, and this. Thank you very much. And, you know, say please. And, you know, always address them instead of being like, hey, waiter, hey, waitress, or, you know, being disrespectful. All of these things, it creates something different for them, because what it does is smiles are contagious. And whenever they make somebody else feel good, it gives them a ripple effect on the rest of their life and how they frame themselves and how they are perceived by other people. So if you teach kids how to be professional in the fun way, and they don't have to just say please and thank you and that's it, you know, just because they're told to, teach them why. And then teach them how they can go and change the energy in a room. You walk in the room, you can change the entire environment just by how your presence is. And so that's what we're going to do. And it's actually coming to globally soon. So that's something that you guys are going to see and hear and be able to be a part of. And so I'm so excited about that. I'm so proud of them. And even whenever they have hard times, because they're kids still, you know, they're going to always have hard times. But even when they do, they still have one thing that's grounded in them. And that is that no matter what you're going through, if you decide to change your presence and change your mind, that everything else will follow suit. If people are being mean to you, smile and love on them back. They can't help but be nice to you, because it just doesn't work. There is one thing that in the Bible, in life, any kind of personal development thing you'll ever read or hear or think of, is that love casts out all fear, because where love is, fear cannot exist. And so when people are being mean-spirited or any of these things, and you show them kindness and love anyways, be like, I'm sorry you feel that way. What can I do to help you? You know, how can I help you understand? Or, you know, like, I'm sorry if I offended you. What can I do to make it right? These types of things it changes everything. And that's just what we need. I believe that we need to have a much nicer world. And if we can only complain about it so much unless we're willing to change it. So we're going to change it.
Well, and I think it's amazing because people love to just dump on millennials. But you know what? It wasn't my generation that made it acceptable to be gay in public.
Yeah.
It wasn't my generation that fought for people to not get mowed down when they go to school by a gun. And it wasn't my generation that made it okay to be transgender and to be who you are and to come out and say, you know what, bullying is not okay and you just shouldn't do it. It was socially acceptable up until a few years ago.
Yep.
And it's the kids that are going to change the world. And I have a pretty strong intuition that it's going to be your kids are going to be a big part of that. And God, I didn't even know most of that about you, and I was already impressed. So watch yourself in October when you're in the bathroom line. This is probably when I'm going to strike again. That is amazing. Thank you so much. No, we don't. I asked my guests to not mention any specific products or any specific businesses.
I forgot.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No. Actually, that's not why I was saying it. I was saying it because I really think that your kids' platform is worth a plug. So if you could give us more information about that, maybe a website that people can go to learn more.
It's gokidspro.com, and you'll see Haley and Reagan right there in the front. And it's basically teaching kids how to become powerhouse entrepreneurs. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it to our company and get it to where people have access to it all over the world. And we really want to set kids up. So like I said, the 6-week course, well, it's on a Zoom. So these kids all plug in and get together on a Zoom and get to hear and see what they're going to be doing for the week. So like one of the challenges is so simple, but it's so effective. It's give 3 people high fives before noon. Why is that effective? Because it's an exchange of power. Like you can't be cranky in the morning when you're like, high five, like, woo, it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
So when you're an exciting person and you push that on somebody else, you just change their whole being. And so it's just watching people and watching these kids see, how things change and make them a believer that, they are important now. They don't have to wait till they're, a certain age or till they have college and all that kind of stuff underneath them. They can be more powerful and effective now than ever.
Wow. So if you have your kids there in October, please don't be alarmed if I fangirl on them, because I'm blown away. Now, is it specific ages that can participate in this?
So
or is
we're doing it between 10 to 19. But however, we don't cut it off on that. So what we say is if you believe your kid is able to understand and focus and be a part of something, bring them on. Absolutely. Wow. Like we would never turn anyone away, because what I found in the discovery is that kids in 4th grade to high school are the ones that are struggling the most.
Yeah.
Because I think they're seeing that these kids have toy reviews and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. And so they want to do that. And if they don't have the same measured up success, then, they start questioning themselves, which is not necessary. And so everybody has at least one gift in them. And so I think that you should just let it shine bright.
Yeah. That's just amazing. Will you give us that website one more time? Because I have 2 10-year-old grandchildren, and as soon as we get done here, I'm going to go check that out for them, because that is unbelievable. And how old are your kids?
Haley is going to be 16 now in November, and Reagan is 14, and then Addie Bell is 11, and little dude's 5.
Oh my God, and he's so cute. He's so adorable. Okay, one more time, that website
is gokidspro.com.
Wow, that is unbelievable. so that kind of took care of my second question too. That was like, wow, I can't see. Yeah, this is what it was like in the bathroom. Yeah, this was it. Okay. What motivates you to keep going? Because it is a lot of hard work. And I know you came from a networking background, but for me, I did not. And I don't have a lot of contacts that I could work real quickly. And my progress has been very slow. So when you have those days when you're like, I don't think I can do this, or I don't want to do this, what gets you to the next day?
I tell my friends I'm going to quit daily, and maybe we should all just quit and just go be strippers or something. So like, but then I realized that I'd probably be broke, so I should stay in network marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? The thing that honestly keeps me going is me. And most people are like, "Oh, it's my kids," and I'm just like, "No, it's me." And here's why: is because there's somebody out there that's just like me. And she's counting on me to find her and tell her that no matter what, that she is important, that she does have a voice, and that no matter if a guy thinks that you're worth it or not, that you are. And it doesn't matter if you know 1,000 people or not, there's somebody out there that's counting on you. And so I always tell everybody, if there's anything in the world you can do, is you can count on me. So if there's one person out of all the stress that I have to go through that I've helped change their life because they believed in themselves just a little bit more, it's still worth it. It's still worth it. All the stress, it's worth it. Getting, people mad at you or anything else, it's still worth it. And I can't give up on them because somebody was there for me. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to have any trouble talking now. So, that is the whole reason that I started doing a YouTube channel, is because I was a little bit lost, and I have fantastic leadership, but I'm single. It's just me, and I come home at night and it's just me, and I need to bounce ideas off somebody, and it's just me, and I have a lot of support in my life. I'm very fortunate for my family and my friends, but not everybody is. And so I thought, I know that I'm going to make it. I have to. I do not have a choice but to make it in this business. I don't have any retirement. I don't have any plans of not being single anytime soon. I have to make it. And so that being the case, I have to figure out as I go how to do this. And I'm going to document that because I know of other women who are in the same circumstance that I am. And if I can help someone else learn along the way with me, then that's what I want to do. And maybe people will watch this and maybe they won't. Maybe it'll be one person who watches and it will change her life or his life. Maybe it will just convince them, you know what, my job isn't that bad, but I'm a happier person now knowing what's on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care how it helps them, but this is what I'm going to do along the way.
I've been a married woman. I've been a divorced woman with 4 kids who was left with absolutely nothing. I've been I've been full. I've been, living in abundance, and I've been in lack. And out of anything and everything that I can say that's gone in, because it can be a roller coaster daily even. Your emotions are there. I have this thing where I think that I can do anything. And I got that, I know, from my grandma because of watching her. She didn't finish school. She was the most beautiful woman in the world to me because her heart shone through like everywhere she went. And I always just thought, I was like, if I could just be as even just a pinch of a giver like she is, then that's what I want to do. And at a very word that people are just like, what word describes me? She was a giver. And And whenever on my keychains, I made this keychain that says wake, serve, repeat. And that's all I want to do with my life. And if you have people that are coming into your world that are takers, because that's usually what happens with givers, is you find people that are takers. And I've learned over and over and over again is that there are always going to be people that are going to take. You can get bitter, you can get better. And the key to it is, the key to being able to stay with it and not be shakable is to remember that it's not about you. So that way your ego doesn't doesn't, get hurt or anything like that. It's more personal. So whenever things happen, and I love people with all my being, my friends, if I love you, if I call you my friend, you're my friend. Like, and I will fight for you. I will do anything in the world for you. Even when I know that something's not going right behind my back, I will still try and be there for you until you remove yourself. No matter what it is, I will always be there. And the door is always unlocked on my side. You just have to open it, But what I've learned is in this business, people are so hungry to feel something that's real. They just need to know that you actually care about them, and it's not just a paycheck. It's not just you're looking for somebody to be on their team and then you ditch them. I have to know that you're a real person and you're not a number. So with what you're doing on this YouTube channel right now, I believe that you are going to reach a lot of people. I believe that your platform that you're setting up here right now is not only a ministry, it's more than that. It's your voice. And even if it's months down the road that people finally catch on and see this video, they're going to see your tears. They're going to see the pain, because all tears are is weakness leaving the body. And it's pain that came from inside, that it's touching your heart, because you're like, I feel this. I know this. My soul is speaking to this. And what it's going to do for other people, Dianna, it's going to give that person that maybe have said that I can't do anything. I'm not important enough. I just need to give up. Dianna was by herself. She went and she started this company. She decided to get out there and not stay in her bedroom and be quiet all night long and shut people out. She started a video because she knew that the real connection is getting in front of people, talking to people, saying, hey, no matter what, you're not alone. And you're not. So if there's anything that I could invest and pour into you, it's that you are doing something that's great. You could be one of millions of people that are doing videos, but that one person out of those millions that needs to see yours is going to get to see it. And because of you, somebody's not going to give up. And because of you, somebody's going to believe in themselves more. And because of you, somebody's going to say, you know what? I think I can do something too.
Okay, I don't know how Oprah does this, because I'm a freaking mess.
Oh.
Can I just, like, all of the nice words, they're yours. Just imagine that they're all coming out of my mouth. I can't pull my crap together. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're amazing.
You are absolutely amazing. You are the best friend that every single woman in the world needs.
Thank you.
You are the woman that every single woman needs as a role model. And I'm glad that you have such a worldwide platform to speak on, because there is so much hate and ugliness and vileness in our world right now. And people need your words. They need to know that that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's not the way it has to be. And we can all be better if we're just better. And
how many times have you heard somebody say, I love you to you in the last few weeks? That's not related to you.
Oh, I do have 2 friends that we say it regularly.
Okay. So do you know if you just added that into your vocabulary when you get off the phone to every single person, be like, all right, I love you. I'll talk to you later. If at first it's a shock factor, people are just like, did you say I love you? but it needs to be normal.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you thought, I don't know if anybody's out there, if anybody cares, if anybody loves me. But if we added that just a little bit, be like, you know what, I just love you. I think you're absolutely amazing. You know, I just love you. It fuels you, right? So I see you as that. You're that person that can love on people more than anybody. I tell you, your heart is so big. And if you could add that to your vocabulary and not be afraid to say it, oh my gosh, I think you can elevate you even more. Like, you are definitely an amplified woman, but taking it to another level and just showing people, you show them with your heart, you show them with your whole being, but telling them, I love you. You are amazing. I'm not scared to say I love you. I tell people I love you all the time. My best friends are guys, you know, girls, whoever. I'm just like, yep, love you. Talk to you later. You know, and they're just like, and she really does. She really, I'm like, yes, of course I do, because I said it. So of course I love you, you know, and it gets me hurt a lot. It does. But you know what? It's okay. I'd rather love on somebody too much than have them ever wondering if they ever meant anything to anybody.
That's exactly. Okay, that is my new mission in life. A couple of years ago, I read a magazine article, and I don't remember what magazine it was in, but it said that women are so unused to getting compliments.
Yes.
You compliment a woman, and she automatically is like making an excuse why what she has is not the best. So
yeah, I know.
You say, hey, that's a great dress. I love your dress. And she says, oh, I got it on clearance. As if that's like bad and not one more reason to love her dress. My God, it's beautiful and it was cheap. So like that was the best deal. You're brilliant.
Yeah, when I do get a good sale, I tell, okay, we were at the A&P.
Everyone,
oh my God.
Everyone.
I was just dying. I got this dress. It was like a $700 dress, okay? And I got this for a really, really good deal. And somebody's like, oh, I love your dress. I was like, thanks. I love it too. I'm like, I got such a good deal. And she was like, what? You know, and like offended that I was going to tell her. I was like, yes. I said, oh my goodness, I got this at Nordstrom the other day. And then, Neiman Marcus. I got it at Neiman Marcus and it was on sale for this much. And then I talked and negotiated myself like 65% more off. And I'm just so happy because here I am wearing this, you know, about $800 dress. And I got it for $92 because that's what the real boss lady does. And so I was just like, so thanks. I was like, this is my happy dress.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, oh, he's one of those girls. Like,
well, so when I read that article, I was like, you know what? I do that too. That's true. I do that too. And so from then on, my mission in life was to compliment everyone that I see.
Yes, I love that. That's part of our kids challenge.
Yeah, sometimes I'm busy and sometimes I'm, not able to do it. But everyone that I am with for more than 5 seconds, I try to find something to compliment them on. And I try to not make it about their hair or their face or, something
about appearance.
You're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how many times a day you hear someone say you're pretty. Yes, yeah. I am, but you know what? I'm also brilliant. I am freaking and I am hilarious, and I am so much more than what I look like. And I don't have to be what I look like for you. I do this for me. So I try to do, oh, that was such a sweet thing that you did for that person, or, oh, I really liked that comment that you made. I feel the exact same way, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I love you is going to be my new mission in life. And I'll still do the compliments because it makes me feel really good.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
It's a habit now. I just do it and without even thinking about it. And so I'll still do that, but I'm also going to do I love you because that is amazing.
Well, my kids, we have the 3 compliments a day. You have to give 3 people their smile. No matter how you do it, you have to give 3 people their smile. Random people. They can't be anybody you know.
Yeah.
They're like going through a drive-through. They'll even be like, let me do the ordering. So I'm like, I'll be like, okay. They're like, hey, how's it going? how's your day? You know, just strike up conversations. It turns into a really fun game. So yeah, I love that you do that too. I knew you would do something.
You should raise all of the children in this world because you are an amazing mother. I didn't know Mother Teresa personally, but I'm pretty sure that you're like right up there. I mean, you are just amazing. How do you balance being everything? You're everything. You're like everything that could ever be good. You're it. So how do you manage all of that?
Well, thank you. I will tell you that that is the number one question that I hate. So here's why. Here's why. Because I feel like it's a normal question. I get it every single time. But here's why, is because when people say, how do you balance that? It's because we have a perceived disposition that there is such a thing as balance, and there's not.
Ooh.
Because it puts so much pressure on somebody to feel like they have to do this, 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 and this. And then that's why we have moms who don't even feel like they have a place in the world because they're just mom. They're just this person, because they're the ones that's trying to be the soccer mom, trying to do this and this and this, and they lose who they are. And I didn't believe that was a real thing until it happened to me. And I used to think when people are just like, you know, I just lost myself. I'm like, well, where'd you go? You know, I see you. Like, I don't understand what that means. It's the balance that people are always just like, oh, well, how do you balance it all? Oh, I do this, this, and this. I get up and I do yoga in the morning. I get up and I do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, that might be good for you, but there's no way I could do that. That's so much pressure. Do I have to do that? Is that what it is? Because we're all so set to program that there is a certain way to do it, and then that's it. It used to stress me out so bad that people were just like, oh, well, your kids should go to bed at like 8 o'clock. I'm like, but that doesn't fit my life. I don't know how to do that. Like, it doesn't fit my schedule at all. And I would stress out about it. I'm like, who said that there's a rule for moms? If I want to put my kids to bed at 10 o'clock at night, I can flip and put my kids to bed at 10 o'clock at night. If I want to give my kids cereal for breakfast, it's okay. Like, that's allowed. Like, I can do that. The ideal of balance is to make everything suck the least amount as possible, because you're never going to get everything right. There's never going to be, oh, I'm the best at this, this, and this, and this, and I'm a happy person. Because most of the people that are like, yes, I have schedules and we do all of these things, and then we're this, those are the ones who are like, once their kids leave their home, they have no idea what to do with themselves. They're the ones that are on uppers and downers, because what do? You spent your whole life living for somebody else because you were told to measure up to this one idea. So my thing is screw balance. Don't ever tell people that there's such a thing as balance, because there's not. And whenever you see a mom who's trying to juggle it all, be like, you know what? We did the same thing. You know what? We learned it, and you are awesome. The best compliment you could ever give somebody is you're a good mom. And you just said that to me. There is nothing in this world more that I would love to hear than I'm a good mom, because every single day I feel like I fail daily. And because of that, you know, I'm like, if I can just be half the mom that this person is, and that person, I'm like, but what about the mom I'm supposed to be? God trusted me with my 4 kids. He didn't give them to somebody else. He gave them to me, which means he trusted me and my talents and my gifts and my things. So if it was good enough for him to trust me, then you know what? Whatever I'm going to do, he's going to take care of me. And if I'm failing one day, you know what? I'm not going to be perfect. I can pick up and do it again tomorrow, because there's always tomorrow.
Okay, so now what I think is that you not only should raise all the children of the world, you need to raise me. Because I was that mom. I have an autoimmune disease too, and I went through a period of 2 years where I couldn't work. And at that time, I had my 2 stepsons. One was part-time, the other one lived with us full-time. My cousin, my son, my daughter, her husband, and their 2 children all lived on the same property with us. My daughter and her husband and their kids lived kind of in a separate structure, but on the same property. And then all of the other kids lived in the house with us. And I was the happiest of my entire life. And then they all left, like within a month of each other. And I went into the deepest depression for 2 years.
Yeah.
And it has just been in this past year. That was about 7 years ago. And it's just been in this past year that I've found myself as an individual and what I like to do and where I like to go and what I expect myself to be at the bare minimum and what I strive to be as the best, and feel comfortable in that in between and feel like I deserve to be here at this level, at that level, at that level, or at that level. You know, sometimes I'm down there. Sometimes I don't even quite make barely minimum what you need to be. And that's okay, because who can expect you to be perfect every moment of the day? And what I tell younger people than me, or even people with, you know, my age who have little children at home, and they say, I don't know if I'm a good mom, I tell them, if you ever wonder if you're a good mom, or if you ever feel like the worst mom in the entire world, if you ever think, why the hell has nobody shown up to take these kids away from me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing? If you have those thoughts in your head, that means you're a good mom. Because people who are not a good mom
don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. They never think about it. They never measure themselves up.
Yeah.
It would not even occur to them that they should be anything other than what they are. So if you wonder if you're a good mom or you feel like you're a bad one, that's the criteria. And that's as good as it gets, because mothering is one of the hardest, most bring you down, make you feel horrible about yourself, just mind numbing, like, I don't know if I can do one more day. And if this kid does not stop screaming, I might jump out the window. But you stay and you do it day in and day out, and you make that choice every single second of the day to put your whole entire heart into it, because it is the best thing that you can ever do, hands down, as a human being. So I don't know where I was going with that, other than that I wasn't smart enough like you to understand that one day my kids will leave and I need to be an actual whole person without them. But I'm doing it now, and it is one of the best but most terrifying chapters of my entire life.
So scary. It's so scary.
I'm so excited to wake up every single day. Every single day.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think you're so brave. You know, I'm like, it's so brave, and it's hard. You know, being single is hard. And I remember when my husband left, he walked out on us and took everything. There's no way anybody in this world could have hurt me as bad as him. It wasn't as bad as he hurt me. He hurt the kids.
Yeah. And
I just remember thinking, I'm no good. I sat in my bed one day and I was like, I can't get up. I can't move. Like, I don't know what to do, because if I get out of this bed, there are going to be mean people out there. In 1 month, my husband left, or my dog died. My husband left. My sister passed away the next week. My parents lost everything in a flood. My husband took my car, gave it to his best friend's wife, cleaned out her bank accounts, and shut off everything. And I found out that he had filed bankruptcy. So here I am with nothing, with 4 kids. And I had no money, nothing. And I was like, God, I can't answer my phone. I can't get out of here. Like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, I don't know. There's like that more than you can handle is what he's going to put on you. I'm like, maybe you don't realize my shoulder's dislocated. Like, hello, here, somebody. And here's my shoes. So I saw my shoes laying on the floor by my dresser, and I had got a phone call from somebody, and it was Tom Chenault. I don't know if you know who that is or not. And so Tom, he calls, he's like, hey kid, how's it going? I was like, it's not good right now. It's not good. He's like, what's going on? And so I was like, I didn't even know where to start, right? You know, Tom has never been in any of my companies, anything like that. I had met him. He's a veteran in network marketing, met him in the generic events and things like that. Love him and Denise. And he's just like, what do you need? He said, do you need money? How much money do you need? Give me your bank account. I'll send you money right now. And I'm like, what? No, I don't need money. I mean, I do, but I don't need to make it. I will figure this out, you know? And I was just saying, I'm not getting up. Like, I'm done. Like, not going to do it, you know? And he calls and he was kind to me without an agenda and without needing to be. And I was like, he goes, you're going to be okay. You're going to make it. He's like, Wonder Woman's still in there. And I remember thinking, yes, I am Wonder Woman still. And all I could hear in my ears, it was like I heard somebody whispering, no, you're not good enough. You're worthless. You are stupid. You know, you're not going to make it. You know, all these things, all these bad words. And I'm like, I am so mean to me. Like, where are these words coming from? And I cannot accept that. And I believe that if it's not a good words, if not good, if anything, then it doesn't come from a place that's good. So it must be the enemy. So if he's in my ears, that means he's not under me where he belongs. And so I saw my shoes over there and I went and I picked them up and I started looking for a marker. And I found a marker. And on the bottom of my shoes, I wrote, I wrote confident. I wrote favor. I wrote blessed. I wrote smart, beautiful, worthy. I wrote powerful. I wrote Wonder Woman. I wrote successful. I wrote like all the words that I could hear coming in my head that I wasn't. I was like, yes, I am. I'm going to write them on here. And then I'm going to put these shoes on. I'm going to walk. And everywhere I step, I'm going to speak life over myself. And I'm going to speak that these words, and every step I'm going to prove that this is what I am. And I remember just walking around my living room and I was talking to myself and I'm like, no matter what, I am powerful. I am strong. I am going to make it because, you know, I'm living in abundance. I am blessed. I am, you know, all of these things. My I ams became on my shoes every single day. And I remembered that. So every single day from that moment on, I get up and I write on my shoes. If I ever feel like I'm missing something, I write it on the bottom of my shoes. So it gives me that faith that I need because I believe words have power and I put them on my shoes for when I'm walking, I'm going to step into that power.
You have power. Like that is amazing. I'm just, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'll be 33 on Monday.
Okay, we're both going to cry at this, but I'm going to tell you, you definitely have your grandma in you. You have definitely given her new life in your soul because there is no 33-year-old that has that naturally. You carry her with you everywhere and she's you and she lives through you and
her birthday
I don't want to get a mess again.
Her birthday was yesterday. And so yesterday, I believe that she's always here, you know? And I'm like, I don't care what anybody else believes. I believe she can be here. She can still be my best friend. And when I feel like, even as crazy as it sounds sometimes, even when I feel like I'm friendless and I don't have somebody that can actually say is my friend, I believe a friend is somebody that you can count on, you can trust, and is not in it for just what's in it for them at the moment, you know? I'm like, even if I ever feel like I don't know if I have a real friend, if they're just my seasonal friends, you know? And regardless, I was just talking to my grandma yesterday and it was her birthday. So I was like, you know, I just miss you because you were my best friend. And I was like, I just hope that all the things that we didn't get to do, that you're still with me here doing them with me because I'm going to finish it. And I'm going to make sure that the world does change. And I'm going to make sure that I do whatever it takes because I'm all in. So
that's amazing. And I need to blow my nose. Okay, yeah, Oprah, so much better than I am. Oprah, I commend you, because this is hard. We have gone on so long that I have done the the ugly cry, and I don't think that I've done anything but angry cry, ugly cry. I can't pull it together. So I'm going to ask you your last question.
Yes.
We're going to bring it down away from the emotional, and I'm going to send you, like, tell me what your hourly rate is, because I'm pretty sure that I just got like an hour's worth of therapy. And I'm coming back tomorrow for more because I'm a mess now. So we're going to bring it back to business, because your fifth question is, thank God I wrote these down, because there's no way. Okay. If there was one thing that you could demand that every new distributor, network marketer makes their daily habit, what would it be?
Mirror talk.
Don't make me cry again.
Absolutely, it's mirror talk, 100%. Anybody that I have in my coaching, anything at all, I tell them mirror talk, because here's why, okay? So whenever we decide to get into business in network marketing, it's 90% personal development. And that's what people often don't realize when they first get in here, is because there's so many things you're going to go through that you're not going to be prepared for. We're in the people business, but we're more in the people business than any other thing. And so because of all of that, you're coming up against so many different types of personalities. You're going to be coming against people that are going to challenge you, and it's going to make you want to, like, step back or lean forward. There's going to be so much resistance in there, and we need to understand and practice non-resistance communication. Okay? So non-resistance communication is whenever we speak and I change my talk, that way it's not abrasive, it's not aggressive, any of these types of things. So whenever I get up and I look in the mirror and I talk to you, if I'm doing a pitch or, I'm sharing information with you, and I just change my words to, well, what you can consider is, or, how would it be if I told you, this one thing could change your life? Would it be worth it for you? Just different things like that, lock down the gatekeeper and get it away. But the reason I say mirror talk is because if you watch yourself talk to you and hear what your self-talk is, you're going to understand that's how people are feeling from you, and that's what they're going to be receiving from you, even if it's different words coming out of your mouth. Because how you talk to yourself and how you treat you is inevitably how people are going to treat you. And I don't know about you, but I would never let anybody talk to me the way I talked to me. I would never let anybody call me stupid. I would never let anybody say that I'm not worth it or any of these types of things. And yet that's the way I was talking to myself. So the very first thing that I tell everybody that you have to do if you're serious about doing network marketing and if you're serious about doing personal development is go stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and the first thing that needs to come out of your mouth is, I forgive you. I forgive you for any time that you've ever said that you're not special. I forgive you for every time that you said you're not worth it, that any time that you said that you can't do it, you're not smart enough, you don't know what to do. Maybe you should ask somebody else's opinion over your own because maybe you don't know what you should be doing. Well, your intuition is going to talk to you for so long until you keep ignoring it that it shuts up. So I don't want that to go away. And the first thing that you have to understand is that you're a human being. We're not a perfect being. We're not anything else, but we're human. And it's okay to make mistakes as long as we understand that we can make tomorrow better. And it's going to start with today. And today, I forgive me for ever being mean. And then from that moment on, speak life into yourself and say, today is my day. Today, I am the lender and not the borrower. I am the head and not the tail. I am strong. I am powerful. I am going to succeed because, God is within me and people are going to see him through me. And because of that, lives are going to change. I'm going to save and help 1,000 families make at least $1,000 a month. I'm going to be able to see my kids grow into incredible people that are powerful and strong and unshakable because I am unshakable. I'm going to be the influence that they need to see, their kids need to see, and the stories that they hear are going to be honorable, that she has integrity, character, and focus, and the passion that she had in herself carried on through everybody else. She is a influencer and not easily influenced, and that is my mission. And that's what my day is going to be like.
You are very appropriately named Laura Harte, because you are all heart and wisdom and soul. And I thank you so much for doing this. I'm not kidding. It was like an hour of therapy. I knew it was going to be a great interview. I did not expect this.
Thank you so much.
You are a woman of so much substance, and I am so glad that I know you, and I will always be your friend. If you ever are lonely and you need someone to talk to, I can't promise that it won't cry like a big baby the whole time you're talking. But I will always be here for you. So we're going to say goodbye to our tubulars. And then if you'll stick around with me for just a minute so that I can blow my nose and then talk like a normal human being, I would be very appreciative.
You are a normal human being.
That was amazing. You're amazing. I hope our viewers are just as dumbstruck as I am, because watch this again, rewatch it, have your friends watch it, because everything that you need to know about being a happy adult and functioning and being a good person was just taught to you by Laura Harte. So thank you for watching. Until the next time. Oh my God.